So I'm here to teach you about the French Revolution, but to make it fun, I added like this little Eiffel Tower that I had gotten in France 3 years or so ago. Yeah, so to start out, you need to know that the French Revolution lasted for 10 years, 1789 to 1799. While the revolution had included parts about Enlightenment ideas, it was mostly about the lack of food and the way the political system was set up. Life was definitely harder on the poor. The French government was about to go bankrupt, and so France had to raise the taxes, which caused the normal person to be upset. France had a problem collecting taxes because of the way its society had been structured. The structure was a system made of kings and nobles, which is now called the Ancien Regime, the clergies, and then the commoners. Almost all of the population was commoners, so they made a separate group who came up with ideas that people are all equal and should be treated fairly because of their rights, and they also put them in the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen, which also included Enlightenment ideas. Some Enlightenment thinkers, such as Kant, fought against religion and thought it was the main problem within society. They believed that one should think for themselves and be independent. During the Enlightenment time period, people challenged the idea of the king having the absolute power that had been handed down from God. The four Enlightenment people that I'm going to mention are Locke, Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Voltaire. Locke believed people had three natural rights, which are life, property, and liberty. He also believed that the government's role in our life should be to protect these natural rights. Montesquieu thought that there should be a separation of power, including the executive, legislative, and judicial branch, which separate jobs so that the government has balanced power. Rousseau put forth that government should have a social contract between them and the people, which let the people back out of the contract in order to make a new government in case the government breaks that contract. Voltaire focused on how church and state should be separated so that one can have religious freedoms. These Enlightenment ideas are still dramatically shown in our present world, such as in the Declaration of Independence. The French people revolted when prices raised and taxes got higher because they struggled to pay for food and goods already. King Louis VI and Marie Antoinette were guillotined, an egalitarian execution that used a large saw to cut off one's head because they had committed treason. Madame de Staël, a witness of the execution, explains the king as a man who lacked the strength necessary to hold on to his power and made people doubt his courage every time he was in need of it to drive his enemies back. This man, whose naturally timid intellect was unable either to believe in his own ideas or even to adopt someone else's, showed himself abundantly capable of that most astonishing of determinations, to suffer and to die. Once he was executed, the next leader was Paris, which is during the time period that is called the Terror. The Terror time period ended with the execution of Paris because he killed many people for little reason, which gave the impression that he was a dictator. France didn't know what to do with themselves after the execution, so they did things as such make the army larger. They kind of went crazy. Countries around France started to invade because of the fear that Enlightenment ideas would spread, causing revolutions in their own countries. Napoleon joined the military, and helped win the war. The war ended once the French armies, which is called the Revolution Army, had conquered and defeated surrounding countries. Napoleon was a large part of the win of the war, and spread many revolutionary ideas around Europe. The French Revolution's ideas spread throughout Europe and had affected lives around the world. The Haitians were affected by the French Revolution, which influenced the Haitian Revolution by unknowingly inspiring the slave revolts and representing most people's desire by the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. The Haitian Revolution was similar to the French Revolution because they both stood up for what they had wanted, including rights and equality. I think that the French Revolution was a success because of its influence on the present and the time period between then and now. The revolution also changed its country's government dramatically. We still see ideas from the four Enlightenment thinkers that was spread during the French Revolution, like in our own Declaration of Independence, such as Locke's idea of natural rights and our three branches from Montesquieu. These ideas were spread not only during the Revolution, but stayed alive all the way to the present, which shows their importance. Well, that's it for today.